Good evening, folks. Freddy Vazquez, Basement Politics Unfiltered. Happy Tuesday.
Freddy wins.
Good evening, folks. I'm Freddy Vazquez. This is Basement Politics Unfiltered. Tonight, Empire Strategic Planning. Let's talk about the consulting lobbying firm owned by Nick Spano, former senator and brother of Mayor Mike Spano. And what are they doing here in the city of Yonkers? Lots of business. That's what it is. Lots of business. Lots of business. Good evening, folks. I'm Freddy Vazquez. This is Basement Politics Unfiltered. Tonight, Empire Strategic Planning, the consulting and lobbying company owned by Nick Spano. It's also has John Spano, his brother, working for it as well. And lobbyists like James Kavanaugh. And I'll get into that in a minute. Nick Spano is just recently, I should say, had his Christmas party, annual party that he has over at the Castle Royale. I put some video up there. If you didn't see it, check it out. The usual suspects were there. They got 2 motorcycles in there, police motorcycles, man. Only Nick Spano can do that. The lights on. I thought that was pretty cool. I'm sure the kids loved it. So let's talk about it. Empire Strategic Planning. What is Empire Strategic Planning? I'm going to take a guess, folks. Empire, client-oriented, results-driven. Meet the executive team. Nick Spano, John Spano, Maureen Cronau. Did I say that correctly? Nick Spano, ESP's founder and owner, has unmatched experience and success with the legislative process. In a 28-year career, he rose from being the youngest member of the assembly to being the 3rd highest-ranking member of the state of the Senate leadership. As chairman of the Committee on the Developmental Disabilities, he worked with the executive branch, assembly leadership, fellow senators, and advocates to carry out groundbreaking changes in the way New York serves its developmentally disabled residents. At the same time, as chair of the Westchester County Legislative Delegation, he was consistently successful in advocating for the county's interests, whether they be education, funding, economic development, or other needs. It was only by understanding and navigating the legislative and executive department process that Senator Spano was able to achieve success in these areas. And it says he works with I worked with the developmentally disabilities, or people with developmental disabilities, excuse me. Well, his Christmas party that he had over at the Castle Royale, there were, children there who had disabilities there who were receiving gifts from Santa Claus. So, I commend them for that, right? We all got to give back a little when we take so much. What are their services? What is it actually they do there at Empire Strategic Planning? Well, he's strategically planning his empire. Government relations and legislative advocacy. ESP will develop and implement a government affairs action plan to meet the needs of your organization or business, whether it involves tracking a single bill or monitoring the entire legislative process. ESP will keep you updated, right? Anyway, let's move to strategic planning and political consulting. That's key. The political consulting, analysis of state and local legislation and regulation, right? They assess state and local legislations and regulation, monitoring and tracking of legislation that impacts clients' interests. Remember that. That's very important. This is extremely important. Monitoring and tracking legislation that impacts clients' interests. Connecting clients with decision makers in state and local government. That's also important. Got to highlight that in orange as well, right? Connecting clients with decision makers in state and local government. Scheduling and coordinating meetings with key public officials. I'm going to highlight those. Scheduling and coordinating meetings with key public officials. Okay, it's very important. Public affairs, ESP will develop a public affairs strategy to complement your government affairs action plan. Like, we want to take Al-Qaeda, let's destroy him. This will include interface with grassroots community organizations, like many community organizers that they seek out and have assisting them now, right? The minions, that's the minions. Media and press on every level, as well as internet and social network contacts, right? Media and press. Who do we know that's been, you know, on their side, biased, right? You know those media sites. ESP's principal are experienced in press, media relations, blah, 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 business development. This is important. ESP can assist with business development in both the public and private sector. We are well-versed in the complexities of public sector procurement and can facilitate communication with decision makers. Can facilitate communication with decision makers in purchasing decisions, as well as provide advice for improving marketability for your products and service. ESP also has a large roster of private sector contacts and can facilitate the business-to-business exchanges that result in mutually satisfactory outcomes. Mutually satisfactory outcomes. Yes, I am very sure. Now, why did I highlight these and say these are very important? Folks, monitoring and tracking legislation that impacts clients' interests. So do you think that Nick Spano's Empire Strategic Planning was monitoring and tracking the housing ordinance? And whose interest was that for, right? His clients, obviously, these developers, and I'll go through some of the clients in a little bit. But his brother is the mayor of Yonkers. His little brother is the mayor of Yonkers. His baby brother is the Yonkers city clerk. That's a problem, I think. That's a huge problem. I mean, said it right there, connecting clients with decision makers in state and local government. Sorry, looking for a pen. Right? I mean, what does that say? What does that mean to you if his brother is the mayor of Yonkers? And so you can understand a little more after today's podcast why it's important that they extend the terms, they get it passed, and that he is reelected. He's got clients that he still has to service, right? So is he scheduling meetings and he's making contact on behalf of his clients with key decision makers like the mayor of the city of Yonkers? I mean, you know, this is interesting. Scheduling and coordinating meetings with key public officials like Mayor Spano, possibly. Lakeisha Collins Bellamy, possibly. City Council President. What about the majority leader? Possibly. And others, county legislators, right? State officials. So, I mean, that's important. And that's why I said we must, you know, I wanted to highlight that, and you must remember that. I want to move on. I saw Nick Spano actually once at a at Paxos. I was going there. That's why I go get my breakfast, you know. And so I went in there last year over the summertime. It's before the elections, and I happened to see, I recognized him right away. I happened to see Nick Spano there. I didn't know who the other no, did I? I think I did know. Actually, I think I did know. I didn't know. I'm lying. I didn't know who he was with. That was Zahi Jarris, who I did not know. The third person who I know now is Frankie Jarris, the son of Zahi Jarris, currently an NYU law student who recently has been caught using fake profiles on Nextdoor app as well as on Facebook. He also was caught as an administrator for the Yonkers Newswire, the trashiest news outlet on the internet. That's created by Brian Harrod, that dude. So they work together. They collude to attack and terrorize anyone that goes against their client's interests. So I saw him there and I said, I'm going to videotape. I got to record this. You know, they're not supposed to be together technically, right? I don't know, right? It's a thing of felons or whatever, hanging out, colluding, you know, because they're plotting. And many people were jokingly or maybe being seriously and saying that they were sitting there planning the Mike Cater takedown. Were they? I don't know. But I want to show you that real quick if you didn't see it.
To see Mr. Spano. There he is. Not a little older. Hair is white, right? And he's sitting with a gentleman
Frankie
by the name of Zahi, who I hear is also very involved.
Jarris, the former.
These guys are political players, right? From what I hear, they're just telling me things. I don't know.
That's Frankie Jarris, the son of Zahi.
That's what people need to do.
And Zahi Jarris.
These guys shouldn't be anywhere near if they're doing
In fact, what it's claimed that they're doing isn't anywhere near a public official's public office.
Attorney Mike Edelman, a Republican strategist and News 12 commentator.
City Court Judge Ada Medina, he brought her in there. And this is the party. It's Janine Rose.
Thank you so much.
It's not a scene from The Wizard of Oz.
I used to get bacon,
there you go.
But I'm trying to be a vegan now. You know, I'm trying. I still am eating eggs. That's not vegan.
That's Zahi.
But I'm trying. I'm just trying to get my weight up first because I'm a skinny guy, you know. So before I go vegan, I don't want to disappear, you know, going vegan, right? Be sure that you join me again every Sunday.
And there they go. So they're colluding, right? So they're obviously they'd probably never go back to Paxos again after this video was put out, right? So we can't do it there. So they're probably sticking to other places like Mount Olympus or whatever that diner's called, or Central Avenue. But there's a huge conflict of interest there. Huge conflict of interest. He's the mayor's brother. He has a consulting company, a lobbying firm that has pretty much everyone that does business here in the city of Yonkers as a client. I don't literally mean everyone, but a lot of the big companies, the MGM, Empire Casino, Lionsgate, Empress, and I'll go through a few. And so is he utilizing his relationship with the mayor, his brother, to benefit his own business? And why is he sitting there speaking with Zahi Jeris, a man that was convicted of political corruption? That's the guy that got Sandy Anabi sent to jail for 2 years because he got her to flip on the Ridge Hill vote. Zahi Jeris is the man that is currently the sponsor of Tasha Diaz. He got her into politics. That man, Zahi Jeris. She flip-flopped on the housing ordinance. You just saw the video of Zahi Jeris and Nick Spano sitting together, colluding. I say colluding, let's say meeting. They were meeting, they were talking. Were they discussing how Tasha Diaz was going to flip-flop on the housing ordinance because Nick's clients, developers, did not want that ordinance to pass? And then Zahi got her to flip-flop. He promised her majority leader title, and she got it. And I'm hearing that for passing this term extension, she's going to become the council president when Lakeisha Collins Bellamy ultimately becomes a judge, because that's what she'll do. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. So was this all planned? That day at Paxos, or at least part of it? Got to make you think though, right? Nick Spano has Empire Strategic Planning. Developers come to him. Hey, are you tracking that housing ordinance legislation? Are you monitoring that? Monitoring that legislation. Nick, we need to make sure it doesn't pass. Can you make that happen? Got you. You know, $10,000 a month, I got you. Z, let's meet at Paxos. I'm there. Bring Frankie. They there. They meet. We need you to kill this housing ordinance, Z. We got to make sure that your puppets don't get it passed. Got you, Nick. Got you. Anything for you. Even going to jail. Anything. Case closed? I mean, what? So I'm saying, I don't know if that's exactly how it went down or what happened there that day. But the fact is that it just creates too much suspicion, too much, doubt that what they were doing there was nothing more, or anything innocent. I'm sure they were plotting. I'm sure they were planning, just like they were, I believe, that other day at the Castle Royale. They planned these things way in advance. So was that colluding to kill the housing ordinance and other things to get Mike Cater out of office, because they knew Mike Cater would not pass the term extension legislation if it was introduced. He would not introduce it, actually. Lakeisha Collins Bellamy would have never been there. He would still be the city council president. But he had to go because he was not going to pass it. Just wasn't going to pass it. I want to show you some of the contributions made by Nick Spano. And I put them in yellow, the ones that I think are just kind of interesting. Got them there by date also. The 2021 is the most recent. Highlighted here, 26 June 2021, June 30th, Yonkers Republican Committee, but his brother's a Democrat. Why would he donate to the Yonkers Republican Committee? But I guess he's bipartisan in his contributions. He's donated to Greenburgh Democratic Town Committee, again to the Yonkers Republican Committee, Friends of Tyree Woodson out in Mount Vernon. He was he the guy that beat Elliot Engel? Nick Spano, Alvarado for Yonkers. Actually, no, Tyree took over for Jamal, I believe. Jamal beat him, I believe, right? So Alvarado got 500 from him back in December 2020. Gordon Burroughs back in 2019. Friends of Andrew Stewart Cousins. Look, they made up. He gave it $250. $500 to, I don't know why I highlighted this. DiNapoli. Is that the Thomas DiNapoli? As a New York State Comptroller? $500. Nick Spano, Westchester County Democratic Committee, $225. Yonkers Republican Committee, $1,500. I didn't see the Yonkers Democratic Committee, but your brother's a Democrat. This is 2011, by the way, but I didn't see any at all from Nick Spano or Friends of Nick Spano. Andrew Cuomo, Citizens for Larkin. Yonkers Republican Committee again, $1,250. He loves them. They're really Republicans. $1,000 to Wilson Terrero. Andrew Cuomo got $1,000 here back in 2009. Janet De Fiore, $1,000. Oh, here we go. Yonkers Democratic Committee. I lied. I'm sorry. They got $750 in 2009. Andrew Cuomo, $5,000 back in 2009. Working Families Party, $35 for the Working Family. Yo, I got no respect for you guys. What's up with that? Again, Republican committee in Yonkers, $5,000 to Westcon's PAC. This guy's very active. He donates a lot. Look, Friends of Liam McLaughlin, right? So what contributions mean in politics is favors. Favors. The more you donate to these individuals, the more, clout you have with them, right? The more leverage you have in terms of favors. People for Murtaugh, $5,000 in 2008. And then he gave him $280,000 here. And Friends of Nick Spano Committee, Friends gave to himself $280,000. Wow. Friends of Mike Spano back in 2007, $3,400. Donated to Mike Spano a couple of times, another $3,400 here. Friends of Mike Spano, Independence Party. So he keeps, money in people's pockets, basically in their campaigns. That's how he is able to facilitate these relationships that he can leverage, right, on behalf of his clients. That's how he can get you to meet with decision makers, right? Campaign finance reform could help prevent special interest groups from influence elected officials. They should not accept funds from any organization to whom they might award contracts or to whom they gave jobs. In introduced legislation when I was on the city council, but got no support. I'm sure you weren't going to get any support for that. I'm sure you were not. I'm definitely sure you were not. But you know what I say? They should have no lobbying. There should be a set amount of money that comes from the taxpayers, right? And that's all you get to use to campaign. That's it. That's it. They should give you a special access on a channel so that everyone can see. There's a channel you go to and you watch the debate. You watch them speak. But they don't get extra money from any other groups. That's obviously used to influence people. I mean, hello, right? I mean, I don't understand why that would even be acceptable. Nick Spano, if you live in Westchester, you're likely as familiar with the name Spano as you are with Rye Playland or the Hutch at rush hour. And if you're like many in the county, particularly if you keep up with local and state politics, the surname conjures a number of images, some positive, some negative, some disappointing. In fact, it may seem as if you can't walk a block in Yonkers without running into a Spano. And while that may be an exaggeration, it's not all that far from the truth. The Spano family is large, in many ways larger than life, both in numbers and in influence, particularly in Yonkers. That's right. Remember that. I want to show some photos here, folks, really quick, and then I'll move on to showing some of the clients. I want to talk about the clients. Who are the clients? Right? Obtaining funding assistance representing a major downstate educational institution, ESP successfully obtained a multi-million-dollar capital appropriation for needed improvements. ESP identified key personnel in government who could assist, then developed a compelling case for our clients. Now, what I read when I see that is they found the guys and the girls who would take the money and put enough money that they made their case, right? Identify key personnel in government who could assist, then developed a compelling case for our client. The result is that our client is now able to move forward on a major capital project that will use a combination of public and private funds to benefit its students. Yeah. You see that, folks? Unbelievable. We saw that. Stop here. This is from an article on the Yonkers Tribune. Meanwhile, the Spano clan gives themselves raises and create duplicate jobs for jobs specific for their family and friends. Yes, jobs are created. They conduct themselves like a syndicate family. People call them the Spano crime family, setting meetings up at different restaurants like Paxos to plot against their own party. You see, he contributes to everyone. Targeting the political opposition, people like me and others who are being attacked currently, decide on which relatives or friends will get an appointment with a title for which they are unqualified. The perks of the family and friends network is such that one can get ahead without any knowledge or experience in one department or another. And I'll get to that when I get to the YIDA. And that's important. Such job placements are designated by the likes of Nick Spano, the former tax-evading felon who is the founder of the lobbying firm known as Empire Strategic Planning. Nick Spano is ably assisted at that venture by other Spano brothers and sisters and spouses. Why would any union official or union trustee of a specific union in Yonkers get involved with a firm whose owner was arrested and charged by the Department of Justice for evading taxes? And I'll get into that in a second. Well, if the Spanos plead the fifth, we won't. The Spanos have put all of their relatives and their puppet union heads, like the Yonkers PBA president, Keith Olson, and I'm just reading, and Yonkers CLSA president, Chris Sapienza, I guess he was the president. I almost got confused. I said, wait. And who is controlled by former CLSA president Thomas Phelan on behalf of the Spano clan. And if you remember, Anthony DiMaggio and I speaking, and Anthony DiMaggio telling us or describing how the next president is appointed, right? It's not really a vote. The former CLSA president will appoint an incoming guy. And then he said that the Spanos found this loophole. And so that is why, and it makes sense when he says here, the Chris Sapienza, who was the current, I guess, when this was written, CLSA president was controlled by the former CLSA president. So you see it all connects. It all matches up. Right? This is some completely different thing. An article has nothing to do with me, Basement Politics, or Anthony DiMaggio. Insiders in the know have advised the Yonkers Tribune that these guys were given promotions and take-home cars as to urge their membership to settle on contracts that were not beneficial to their respective membership. The Spanos keep these chained junkyard mutts in high places in these departments to quietly tip the balance in their favor should the need arise, as it often does. And their practice of control and domination allows them to target their political adversaries using supervisors to do their dirty work. And that's what's happening here. And I'm going to connect it again to city court judges and their relatives who are at the Office of Children and Family Services. Oh, yeah, I'm going to make a big stink about this. It's not over yet, folks. Everything is a slow-moving wheel, right? Takes time. This is not just some, I don't know. It would be simple. Empire Strategic Planning is a lobbyist registered with New York State Joint Commissions on Public Ethics. The address, and I want to show you for the reason, 111 Washington Ave, Albany, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Phone number. Oh, look, we share the same area code, Nick, my daycare center. I'm telling you, God is working here. The email address is, listen to this, cnaclario@harrisbeach.com. Now, what is going on here? The email address is cnaclario@harrisbeach.com. Harris Beach, really? The law firm that has a lot of contracts with the city of Yonkers. Now, how is that ethical? And they're registered with the New York State Joint Commission on Public Ethics. Problem is, no one's ethical in government anymore. Now, I just want to highlight this real quick. Empire Strategic Planning, here you go in the yellow up here. We have now Global Government Solutions, LLC, the Hamilton White House. The email address is, for this lobbying firm, is cnaclario@harrisbeach.com. Wait a minute, they got the same email address as Empire Strategic Planning, and they're tied to Harris Beach? Ain't this about a business? Reddit and Associates, Inc. Lobbyist email, cnaclario@harrisbeach.com. I mean, mate, what's going on here? Somebody help me figure this out. Help me figure this out. Again, Cindy Naclario. Naclario, is that what it's right? Lobby Compliance. There's her LinkedIn. I don't know. Harris Beach? The same Harris Beach that has contracts with the city? Isn't that the same Harris Beach that represented that mysterious guy that worked for John Rubo, who questioned Carlos Burgos' signature, the guy who ran against John Rubo and was somehow represented by Harris Beach not once but twice? And this is a prestigious law firm. It's going to cost you quite a pretty penny. But this freelance masseuse managed to hire Harris Beach twice just to challenge Carlos Burgos' signatures. Was he doing it on behalf of his former employer, John Rubo, or John Rubio, as John Rivera calls him? People most closely connected to Judith Ramos Meyer. Now, who's Judith Ramos Meyer? Who's that? Well, these are a lot of people that connected to her. Steve Lopez, Director of Client Services at the City of New York Department of Education. Nader Sayich, former professional at the Yonkers Public Schools. Pascal Mondesando, founder at Rose Press, Inc., currently named in a lawsuit, the Mike Cater lawsuit, the company that gets about 70% of the money contributed to campaigns because they spend a lot of money on printing. Who do you think is the company that's doing all those mailers that the city of Yonkers sends? You know, the Christmas cards that the mayor likes to send. It's a good way to funnel taxpayer money into your pockets. James Kavanaugh, partner. Remember that, partner at Empire Strategic Planning. Nadia D. Perez. They're all tied to each other, right? So it puts these folks together because they have some kind of connection to each other. Board of Trustees. Who is James Kavanaugh? Partner at Empire Strategic Planning. Jim has been chairman of the foundation since 2011. Jim served as president of the Battery Park City Authority from 2005 through 2010. Anyone making the connection there? Battery Park Authority. He was investigated in 2010. That's why he left. Remember? He was investigated for misappropriation of funds. Retaliatory firing at the bequest of his side piece at the time, Wilson Kimball. And there goes her name right down there. Relationship, see? Wilson Kimball, who he was having an affair with. So he decided to use the Battery Park Authority money, public funds, to get an apartment down in Manhattan so they can rendezvous. The New York Post called it a love's nest. But I got to give them credit because they weathered the storm, the investigation, affairs, and they managed to get married and make it all the way up to Yonkers, where Wilson Kimball currently serves as the president of municipal housing, the CEO, I should say, of Municipal Housing Authority of the city of Yonkers. Her husband, James Kavanaugh, is the president of the Yonkers Industrial Development Agency. And I'll get into that in a minute. Again, here's a little screenshot. Empire Strategic Planning. James Kavanaugh, additional lobbyists. Email, Harris Beach. Well, how can Kavanaugh be a lobbyist for Empire Strategic Planning when he is the new president and CEO of the Yonkers Industrial Development Agency? James Kavanaugh, named new president and CEO of the Yonkers IDA after over 3 years as deputy mayor. How is he a partner at this lobbying firm and deputy mayor? Can someone help me out with that? Should the need arise, like when the mayor's new police commissioner, John Mueller, was confirmed by the federal court to be an evidence fabricator in the Montero case, has again maneuvered himself into a corner trying to set up a young lieutenant. That's when a bought-off union president like Mike Koch or Mike Hanley is invaluable. Forward this stream to the FBI. A blind man could connect these dots. Tell me about it. This corruption runs deep, man. Deep. Deep. So James Kavanaugh, the partner of Empire Strategic Planning, was the former deputy mayor and now is the president of the YIDA. And what is the YIDA? What do they do? Who's over at the YIDA? The YIDA is the Yonkers Industrial Development Agency. They are tasked with bringing in development, creating jobs. They want to foster economic growth within the area that they serve, Yonkers. They're supposed to create jobs and help retain jobs. Have they been? I don't think so. Have they been creating jobs for local residents? No. You see all those developments bringing in outside contractors, yet they're getting pilots, payment in lieu of taxes. Those are tax breaks, basically, most of it coming from property taxes. And they're given that because they want to encourage them to come to the area that they service and hire local labor. It's about creating jobs in the area they service, but they're given the tax breaks, but not getting the jobs in return. And that's not okay. Where did I put that? These are some of the clients of Empire Strategic Planning. And let's see who they are and why it was important for Tasha Diaz to kill that ordinance. The Yonkers Industrial Development Agency has another Spano working there besides the mayor, who's the chair. The mayor is the chairman of the Yonkers Industrial Development Agency. James Kavanaugh, the partner of Empire Strategic Planning, former deputy mayor, and now is the president of the Yonkers Industrial Development Agency. And its executive director is a woman named Jamie McGill Spano, the wife of city clerk Vincent Spano, the baby brother of the mayor. She is the mayor's sister-in-law. So the mayor is the chair, and she is the executive director. And Nick's partner, James, or Jim, is the president and CEO. And then Wilson's over at Municipal Housing as the CEO. What do you think is happening here, folks? Real estate scandal. Real estate scandal. Zoning laws being changed. Wilson Kimball's also the chair of the Zoning Board of Appeal. They got rid of Jeffrey Landsman. They got rid of that guy, Vincent. They got rid of the former commissioner. They sent them off at least with a nice ceremony, unlike the other two guys who they just didn't even tell till 3 months later. They said, you guys are done. You're not approving that Hudson terrorist thing. Nah, you guys out of here. Wilson Kimball, I hear, was very instrumental in getting them removed. She's vicious, I hear. But that's nothing new. If you read the New York State Inspector General's report from 2010, when she was investigated, that's one of the accusations. She was having people fired because she didn't like them. And so she would go over to James, Jim, I don't like that. Please fire her now. And she would. By the way, they got a nice house over in Rhode Island. They enjoy the lavish life. So how is it that the mayor is the chair of the Yonkers Industrial Development Agency? His sister-in-law is the executive director. Remember the comment about hiring unqualified relatives and friends. Well, many people have emailed me to tell me just how unqualified Jamie McGill Spano is for that job. I hear it's a no-show job. She doesn't even have to show up. She makes $130,000 a year, maybe more now. And they want to stay there 4 more years. They need the pension. So these guys are giving the developers the tax breaks while big bro Nick is bringing them here. Don't worry about it. My baby bro, his wife is the executive director of the YIDA. My little brother, my younger brother, the mayor of the city of Yonkers, is the chairman of the Yonkers Industrial Development Agency. I got you guys. If you pay me $10,000 a month, now make it 20 because I'm going to save you guys millions in taxes. I'll save you millions in taxes. And I will get you the property. What property do you want in Yonkers? We'll secure it through the YIDA. I'll get my brother, the mayor, to agree to have the property sold off for cheap to the IDA. The IDA buys it from them, the city. They sell it to you guys for cheap. And you get the tax breaks, the pilots. Oh, wait a minute. You want that land? The zoning doesn't work for you guys? I can make that work too. It's going to cost you another 10 grand a month. Kimball, we need to change the zoning laws there. We got to be able to build higher and higher. You got your girl, Lakeisha. She's ready to prove it with the rest of the council. Gucci, we good to go. The next item on the agenda is the zoning changes to the Ludlow, to the Woburn area. Approved, 7-0. Perfect. Told you guys. Let's go have some steak. Zahi. There's a guy named Freddy Vazquez. He's got a basement politics, whatever, popping podcast. Please, shut that guy up. I'm on it, Nick. I'm on it. Minions. Roll call. Minions. Get the fake profiles. This is a red alert. Attack Freddy Vazquez. Attack his wife. Attack their business. Let's get CPS involved. Yeah, I'm going to find that video and create a lie. Good one. That's going to be detrimental. He's going to be on his knees, begging me, please. Oh boy, Squig works at ESP2, Freddy. I wonder what of scratch he pulls in over there on top of his 207,000 picking up garbage. I don't think he picks up garbage. He doesn't do anything. So do you see the picture here, folks? Can you see it very clearly? How they got it on lock. It's in order to remain in power, they utilize the city employees, city jobs. Make sure you vote for me. Make sure you put a sign up on your business or your property. Make sure your entire family votes for me. Make sure you guys come and give money. The more you give, the better your job will be. At the end of the day, it's taxpayer money. Taxpayer money. Folks, I know what I'm talking about here. I know, oh, absolutely they are. I can guarantee you they are. I would put $50,000 right now that the FBI is watching this. I put $100,000 on this. I put $100,000 on it. The FBI is most certainly watching it. $100,000. Folks, let's look at the clients. January, February 2022. Zacky's wine and liquor. Let's leave them alone. They're small. But what's important is January, February 2022, we have the Yonkers Uniform Fire Officers Association, bi-monthly. Where's the money at? Again, bi-monthly. So they're the Yonkers Uniform Fire Officers Association. They are a client. And what do they get for that? What is it that Empire Strategic Planning does for the Yonkers Uniform Fire Association? Can someone please tell me? I just want to know. I want to know. Yonkers Police Benevolent Association, the YPBA. PBA. Bi-monthly. Again, what is it that they get from them? Yonkers CLSA. Sorry. What is it that they get for the money that they spend? Anything there? Why does it show anything, man? Worth Construction Company. Not sure what that is. White Birch. Westchester County PBA. Is that over there? Is that guy Lopez? Hector Lopez? Is that why he had the position on the zoning board also? Waverly Sawmill River Realty. Developers in Yonkers. Verde Electric. Verde. Do a lot of stuff. You see those green trucks. Trinity Associates. No Trinity. The Plant Developers, LLC, formerly known as the Plant Powerhouse. That's the Ginsburg folks. That's Ginsburg, the power plant over there that they want to turn into some fancy schmancy catering hall with a floating stage so that, what's that group they wanted to bring in? It's definitely not a group that, you know, the people that are there now would probably be wanting to see. Standard Amusements. What's that? So you see all this Plant Developers here, right? That's the Ginsburg. No, that's Layla Gorin. I'm lying. I take that back. That's Layla Gorin. That's the Gorin group. Excuse me. My mistake. Scratch that. That's Gorin, Layla Gorin. And so remember where they said they utilize community organizations? Well, the Layla Gorin group went out to the community and found quote-unquote consultants. And please don't attack me again because I said that. And I'm being funny. I'm talking about a certain individual. She actually requested me on Nextdoor app. Desiree, can we be friends? I just want to help the community. And I think you do too. But I think you don't know what's really going on. And so let's be friends. You were helping them take the property from our people. And I mean everyone from Yonkers. School for Adaptive and Integrated Learning. St. Joseph's. St. Joseph. Now, St. Joseph wants to do away with its mental health facility because they are looking to change the demographics. I was speaking once to the CEO of St. Joseph. I forgot what his name was. Was it Mike? I forgot his name was. Mike Spice, something like that. Mike, it was the day we were delivering food. And he said he wanted to rebrand St. Joseph's. They see all the changes that are happening, people that are coming in with higher incomes. That means that they have private insurance. And so we want to get a piece of that market. We want that money because we're tired of the folks that ain't got no health insurance, tired of the homeless people rolled in here and they ain't paying nothing. And those that do have public assistant health care, right? Like, what do you call it? Medicaid and Medicare. They don't get paid in full. They don't get reimbursed by the government in full. This is what he's telling me. I forgot which one it was exactly, but one of them, you know, either the Medicaid or Medicare, one only reimburses 75% of the cost. The other one only 85%. So they're essentially losing 15 to 25%. And so they don't want that anymore. And they see the writing on the wall, these luxury developments. It's that time. Nikki, yo, we need your help. Got to get rid of the homeless people and the overdoses and all that. We need, you know, the people with money. The ones that are trying to save their 100-year-old grandmas and they'll spend $100,000 doing so. Propane Gas Association. Parkview Development and Construction. O'Connor Davies. Okay. So how do we expect O'Connor Davies to be unbiased or to be neutral in their reports for the city of Yonkers? They're supposed to be an independent auditing company. Unbelievable. And they also donate and contribute a lot to these candidates. They want to keep that contract with the city. So how can we trust that they're telling us the truth in those reports? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Montefiore. Montefiore, to the individual that I spoke to about New York City health and hospitals. Remember those funny payments? Montefiore. Man, the hammer gonna drop. I ain't even. Matthew Visconti. iPark East Fishkill. iPark is Joe Cotter. So Joe Cotter is a client. Joe Cotter's the guy that's building, that owns the land that the movie studios are being built. Joe Cotter went up and started buying the land. And then the the studio development company, the ones that builds movie studios, I forgot what they're called, the 3 Point or something Point. They build the studio and then Lionsgate rents it. That's the whole business model. But Joe Cotter owns the land. He's buying up all of Warburton. And why? Because he knows that Lakeisha and them will got him with the zoning, and they did. If you paid attention to the meeting after Tasha called people beggars, they actually went back to having a real meeting, and they passed the zoning changes that they wanted to over there at Warburton. Well, that's for Joe Cotter and his movie studios. I was just talking about it this morning. I mean, I don't know how else more. Give me a badge, FBI, and a gun. I got this. GTL Construction, developers, I got this. Greater New York Hospital Association. Yo, I know that's some funny business with those checks, with those money, but I know that's funny business. Capelli Organization, Empress. Is that why we will never have YFD and EMT service together? Empress just pays too much? AMS? Did I see AMS? I sure did. FBI licking their lips and rubbing their hands, talking about they found their new lead investigator. Yeah. I'll take the job. I told Vinny Spano I didn't want a job unless they offered me the police commissioner position. Then I'll take that. I wasn't going to turn that job down. You mean I'd be the police commissioner? I'm taking that. Give it to me all day. You don't even have to pay me for that. But AMS Acquisitions, AMS is John Rubo's landlord. AMS is about to build a 900-unit luxury development on that small-ass Buena Vista Street. But they got Nikki making sure everything get passed. Folks, do you not see this? Nick Spano controls everything, every company here, through his brother. Why you think they're forcing him? People say that the mayor is tired. He doesn't want to run. Somebody's behind it. Here you go. All County Fueling. Here you go. Affiliated Police Associations of Westchester. Come on, guys. Yeah, and I mean, you can go through this if you want. Anybody want me to look for someone specifically? This is unreal. Unreal. I don't see anything here. I'm trying to see some payments, but I don't see nothing here. What's going on? It's unreal. This is ethics, report.ethics.ny.gov, New York State Commission on Ethics and Lobbying in Government. If you want to go check it out, do your own search. Look for specific company. There you go. I mean, Westchester County Corrections Superior Officers Association. Look at that. Look at that, man. Got everything on lock, Nick. You got a great business model, man. I'm envious, actually. Why didn't I, shoot. I mean, I could never do this because I don't have anyone in politics to link up with, relative. But man, I can't be mad at it. You can't be from a business strategy, strategic standpoint. I mean, you can't be mad at it. This guy is, I mean, look, he got the money team acquisition, TMT, the money team acquisition, the plant powerhouse. Again, Layla Gorin. Unbelievable. St. Joseph's. Parkview Development and Construction. Damn, this O'Connor, damn, dude. New York Police and Fire Retiree Association. Mutual Aid Association of the Paid Fire Department of the City of Yonkers. Mutual Aid Association of the Paid Fire Department of the City of Yonkers. What is that? Montefiore again. Wow, this is crazy. I mean, you could go on and on. Mark 95 LLC. That had to do with Mark Realty. I'm just saying. iPark. Again, that's Joe Cotter. So, folks, again, you can look at it, but this is crazy. It's unbelievable. You guys stop it. I lost you from my end for a few, not connected to ESP, but the IDA site has a completed $1 million rental to the Castle Royale. Surprise. Yeah, let's take a look at the YIDA page, right? St. Joe's has like 3 5x5 rooms and 1 floor. What mental health gets solved there? They just transferred them to Mount St. Vincent. Yeah, they don't really want folks that they want people who have private insurance, that have good, that they know they're going to get paid on, and that's what they want. They see that things are going to be changing, and so they want to, start to bring in that business. They're tired of what they, remember, growing up in Yonkers, that's just the way I remember it. St. Joseph was the hospital you didn't want to go to, right? Everybody's like, nah, don't go to St. Joseph's, And so we always would go to St. John's. I wasn't born in St. John's, though. Most of my family, were, but I wasn't. I was born up in Mount Kisco. But yeah, so that's the thing. Everybody's like, I don't want to go to St. Joseph's, they don't do things right, it was crazy. But anyway, the YIDA, look at this. Again, the YIDA is the Yonkers Industrial Development Agency. Look, they're turning this into Little Manhattan right here. It's Manhattan. Our mission, the mission of the City of Yonkers Industrial Development Agency, includes undertaking projects and programmatic initiatives in furtherance of and to advance the job opportunity. Look, in furtherance of and to advance the job opportunities, health, general prosperity, and economic welfare of the people of the city of Yonkers, and to improve their recreational opportunities, prosperity, and standard of living. But is that what they're doing? YIDA works to create economic development and job growth throughout the city of Yonkers by attracting new businesses, retaining existing ones, and helping them all become more competitive in a global marketplace. Well, why in a global marketplace? We don't need to be a global marketplace here in the city of Yonkers. We need to get a local economy going, local marketplace. Folks, look, they say that they work with new businesses, but they didn't. They didn't work with me. They hurt me. They caused me not to be able to hire people that I had ready to hire. So 3 people from the city of Yonkers. I actually hire local, unlike these developers. Incentives include mortgage recording tax exemption, state and local sales tax exemption, real property tax abatement program or pilots, access to tax exempt bond financing. So they will even put the city, they will bond for your project. They will put the city in debt for your project. Unbelievable. State law generally restricts YIDA assistance to the following existing firms, new construction projects involving industrial and commercial space, residential rental space, and affordable housing. Oh, really? I have to look at that. I don't know if that's true. Our members. Who are the members? Yonkers IDA Board of Directors, Mayor Mike Spano, the chairman, appointed January 1st, but that's in the charter. To his defense, that's in the charter. The mayor is always the chairman of the YIDA. Marilyn Anderson, Melissa Nasarino. Wasn't her husband Steve Levy? That's Steve Levy's wife, the deputy mayor. Honorable Cecil D. Singer. Get the heck. What? Stop it. Henry DeJohn Balaja. I always say it wrong. Member appointed in 2017. Roberto Spiritu, Victor, and whatever. He was also ran for office. I saw that they contributed. He was just to his campaign. Guess he didn't win. He's become a member as of September of this year. Look at Henry. Come on, Henry. This guy, that helps Henry. That helps Henry's business. I am mad at you, Henry. I am mad at you. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. Now, who are the staff? Jim Kavanaugh, president and CEO. Remember that guy? Battery Park Authority scandal. New York State Inspector General. Former deputy mayor. And partner at Empire Strategic Planning. Oh, man. Jamie McGill. They left out the Spano. Executive director. I don't know the other people. Who's the council? Don't tell me it's Harris Beach. The council, transaction counsel, bond counsel, is Harris Beach. Guess who's the general counsel? Larry Sykes, who's also over at the Board of Trustees, Yonkers Board of Education. Yo, folks, this is bad. Bad. If you have a problem with these guys, any one of these guys, you're screwed. You can't do nothing in Yonkers. Again, I know that they're using their network of people to cause me problems in different areas. And I'm documenting, I'm connected. I have so much more, if I can't tell everything, but I'm just trying to present it to you in a basic way. But this is kind of the most basic way here. But look at this. Harris Beach again. Unbelievable. Freddy, we didn't see your names as a contributor to ESP. That's why. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I didn't pay Nick Spano. That's why I'm not, being successful with my daycare. It's one big club and you ain't in it. That's right. But we're an even bigger club and we're in it. And our club is going to take over. Enough is enough. I mean, listen. I've always been the type that I see something, okay, cool. Now we got to do something about it. I can't just see it and say, okay, it is what it is. Nah, I can't. I can't. I can't do that, guys. I can't do that. So you got to help me here. You're gonna have to help me here because I cannot do that. I can't just turn away. I've been awoken. I'm woke, as they say. What are the projects? Let's look at some of the projects. Yonkers Riverfront Library, St. Cashmere, 244 South Broadway, Bronx River Road Development, 49 South Broadway, 66 Main Street, The Lofts, 86 Main Street. Not owned by AMS? I believe so. Avalon Bay Communities, CCNA Realty. I believe that the owner of that is a guy who owns 471, owns a 470 Nepperhan, that building that was once owned by the city. And his son is the young guy that was appointed to the board, the zoning board, who replaced one of the seasoned zoning board members because they wouldn't approve zoning changes for the Hudson project. So they put this guy's son, the guy who owns this company's son, in the zoning board where he's now. He's like 20-some years old. He also has a job with City Hall making $20,000, but it's a no-show job because the kid is a realtor. He's in real estate. Yeah, there you go. Look, there you go. 470 Nepperhan. Now it showed it right here. Yep, see, I was right. You see what I'm saying? So this guy's son, the owner of this, is on the zoning board of appeal, along with Wilson Kimball, along with Hector Lopez, who gets consulting services from Nick Spano's ESP. I mean, I can't make this up. I mean, they put it together better than I could have if I wanted to try to put this together on paper. It's unbelievable, folks. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? We're going to vote him out next year. That's what's up. That's what we're going to do. I'm Freddy Vazquez. This is Basement Politics. I had one more thing I wanted to show you. And I don't know where it went. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Have my Excel spreadsheet here. I'm doing homework, all right? I'm trying to do the cross-referencing and connecting the dots to that anonymous emailer. I listen, folks, okay? I know I may come off as arrogant at times, abrasive, and like a know-it-all, but I do listen. It is in listening to others that has gotten me ahead, not thinking I know it all. Yonkers Industrial Development Agency. These are the different projects that they've had or they've been involved in. I'm going to take that out. See if I can make this bigger. Shoot. St. Cashmere here, 12/31/2019. This St. Cashmere LP, straight lease, finance, insurance. So let me look at my code here. I got the code, the cells, which cells they are. So this tells you the amount of tax breaks, the pilots that they received, amount if they had bonds issued on their behalf for that project, how much was issued in bonds. And basically that's important because ultimately the city's responsible for paying back those bonds. So we had the Greystone Bakery, St. John's Hospital, Sarah Lawrence College, Hudson Park Investors, Summa Federal Credit Union, Park Ledge Apartment, Harriet Street, Jackson Terrace, Sarah Lawrence College. Isn't that Harriet Street, Jackson Terrace? Is that Tasha Diaz's building? I don't know, maybe not. Sarah Lawrence again, Yonkers Racing Corporation, Consumer Union. So these are all people that have gotten assistance from the YIDA. And I would imagine that at some point they probably were clients of Empire Strategic Planning, right? The Plant Manor, again, Laura Gorin, the Gorin Group. Community Builders, who's that? River Tides, that's that apartment down there on Alexander. CCNA. Again, they own 470 Nepperhan. As a matter of fact, the YIDA is located inside 470 Nepperhan. That's where Jamie McGill Spano's office is. Where she's supposed to go anyway. And they also did this. Look at it. That's crazy. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. You should look at these numbers here. Total exemptions, $222,078. That's how much total exemptions they got. What's Q? Q is school tax exemption, right? So this is how much the schools lost. Q, $118,000. That's how much break that they got from school taxes, I would imagine. It says school at the top. So I'm going to share that also if you want to look through it. Local taxes, local property taxes, $65,000. That's what we're not getting. So it's just a lot of money here. I'm not going to go through it because this probably bore a lot of people, but those who are interested in these numbers, I will share this. And again, remember, the point of the YIDA is to create jobs, to foster economic growth. So are they providing jobs to local residents? Are we the ones getting the jobs? No, I don't think so. They're coming from Connecticut, Rochester. So AD here, this column here, this is supposed to be the jobs before the IDA, right? Before they did this project, that was the job. And then AE here, this is the estimated jobs created as a result of this project. 54, but they had 375. I don't get this. I don't know. I don't understand. I have to figure this thing out. But folks, I will put that up. That's it. It's been over an hour. I just wanted to connect it a little bit for you. The rest gets a little crazy. Estimated jobs created, estimated jobs retained, job before IDA status. I don't understand it. Oh, they created additional. So what? I got you. They created 20, had 180. They created 20. 180 were retained. So the 20 jobs that were created were not retained. So it went back to 180. So that's how that would work. I'm just saying if you're interested. Anyway, folks, I'm Freddy Vazquez, Basement Politics Unfiltered. Thank you, folks. Great show, Freddy. It's about time somebody got to talking about the bribery pipeline known as Empire Strategic Planning. Yeah, that's right, man. We have to talk about it. And it's so blatant, right? It's very, very blatant. It's in your face. And I just don't understand how this is, this is continuing to kind of just be the way it is. I mean, I don't know. How does that happen? Why isn't nothing have been done? Why isn't, someone stepped in and said, this is not okay. This is detrimental to the growth of our city for everyone, because the city is growing in the way that they want it to grow, in the way that these investors and these businesses and Lionsgate and the Joe Carters want it to grow. And they'll do whatever because they're going to get paid for it. So they don't care. So they don't sold off a bunch of land. There's no more property left. You can't build schools anywhere else. They didn't think about that. We needed new schools. Instead of selling off all the land, they could have built new schools and then knocked down the old ones. Did something else with the land, or maybe rebuilt another school, something that benefited the people. Our education system is not the greatest. And I want to get paid, Board of Ed. I want to get paid. I provided the service. Don't give me the nonsense at the Board of Ed. I called them up today. And they already knew my company. They already knew who I was. Oh, for the Little Prodigy. I said, yeah, you know already how I am. Ain't yeah, well, she said something about what we'd be talking about. Yeah, I bet you do. I bet you do. I bet you do. Take the pickles out your mouths. I'm sorry, yo. It frustrates me, these people, yo. Because when you earn it, it's different than when you're handed it. You know what I'm saying? It's different. So I earned it. You get it handed to you. What's the difference is. It just bothers me because they really think they're doing something. Like, you're doing something stupid on behalf of somebody else because you're a pet, a minion, a puppet. Stop it. Like, that's not admirable. You shouldn't be proud of yourself for that. Don't do anything to hurt somebody else. It's none of your business, but you're going to do it because you're a minion. And you want to get a pat on your head, right? Is that what you want? You want a dog treat? Oh, it frustrates me because they're all over it. They're all over Yonkers, man. All over these minions. Why do you think they're getting away with it? Because the feds don't care, probably. I don't know. It's got to be that. Castle Royale Reno listed under Shabrini. Yeah, well, yeah. I don't even. I've seen that. I got that also. That information. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Is that big building that had a fire? Which one? 470. I'm not sure what building you're talking about. Total Towing used to be by there, and they robbed my laptop out of my car when they towed it. Of course, my complaint fell on deaf ears when I reported it. Funny. Because I went to the Castle Royale. I was going to start doing an annual Christmas party for my family, just like Nick Spano, at the Castle Royale. And I did it the first year, and they stole my camera. I had a $500-something camera I just bought. My daughter was maybe like a year, 2 years old. I don't remember. And I said, I'm not doing that again there. They stole my camera. And they tried to say, well, maybe it was one of your guests. No, I only have about 60 people because I don't need to show off to everybody. So I don't invite 100, 200 people. I don't know that many people. So I only invited close family, and everyone there I knew. And they would not have stolen my camera, my $500-something camera. They might call CPS, but they're not going to steal. No, it's true. They wouldn't steal, but they would call CPS, right? But at that time, we were in good, so no one was going to do that. That was somebody that worked there. I went back. They didn't care. 470 didn't have a fire. It used to be owned by Purdue Freddy. I don't know if it had a fire. That's the one with the fire. They do the fire department trainings. It's over there on the corner. Neperhan is like a little side street there, just before you get to the Alexander's, the carpet factory or the carpet mills, whatever you call them. Smoke and Mirrors, African American Museum, black statues at the waterfront. Thank you, Deborah. No. I got a lot of flack for that. Superficial stuff for POC while they disseminate housing for people of color. Thank you. Decimate. Yes, absolutely. This is what I said, and I got a lot of flack for that. In fact, the artist reached out to me, and somebody said to me, Vinny, the artist Vinny, I said, Vinny Vinny, I thought they were talking about Vinny Spano, but it's actually a woman named Vinny Blackwell, I believe, or Bagwell, something like that. I'm sorry if I get the last name wrong. I apologize, no disrespect. And I wasn't disrespecting the artwork. I wasn't disrespecting the artist. What I was saying is that it's all smoke and mirrors. Exactly what you said. They're doing all this just to, keep us smiling and keep us distracted. That's what they were doing to me. That's why Vinny Spano was giving me information about other people so I wouldn't do this podcast. That's why his other minions who have called me to try to give me information, right, are doing to try to keep me distracted. Folks, I'm way ahead of the game. I'm way ahead of these folks. I understand it. And I'm not trying to brag. I shouldn't even be putting that out there, but it don't matter. It doesn't matter. They should know by now that they're turning up different departments to see who's my source. Sometimes you are my source. You guys, and what you do, I can see what's happening, right? It's not that difficult. You can put 2 and 2 together, get 4. Remember that? So, so it is what it is. Bagwell, yeah, Bagwell. Yes, Nepperhan and Amixter, whatever you, no, always try to figure out that, pronounce that. I always go down it though. But yes, 470 Nepperhan was sold to the city for $1 many years ago. Follow that money trail. Absolutely, Travis. And I'm going to do that. Thank you for the hint. Anyone else has any jinkies, clues, let me know. We're doing this together. I've been seeing this online, actually. I went on YouTube. I do a lot of like research into stuff. So, but lately, in order to clear my mind, believe it or not, from all this political stuff and all the research I do, I go on YouTube just to watch stupid stuff, right? And that's weird. But lately, I've been just watching stupid stuff just to get my mind cleared from this political stuff and the business and everything. So I've been watching this guy who DJ Academics or something. He's a rapper, or I don't know, maybe he's a DJ, hip hop. And this is what they're doing. This whole, what I'm doing here, except with hip hop music, right? And exposing artists and stuff like that and talking about different murders. So the point is that he gets a bunch of people and they all help out, right? And they like working on solving a murder of a rapper who got killed recently in Houston. And so people are giving information. People are doing some research online. Then they're sharing it with him. He goes on and he talks about it. He gives the props to the people. So that's kind of like what we're doing here, right? So if you have information, if you have, anything that you find, any research that you've done, share it. We're doing this together. politicwithfred@gmail.com. We're going to do the FBI's job. If the FBI, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, you're not going to do the job, the people of the city of Yonkers are going to do it, right? And let this be, kind of, a message, really, a message to everybody in this country. It's time that the people do it themselves, because we've come to a point where we cannot rely on the officials that are in office to do it. We must do it ourselves. We, the people, must take this into our own hands. So let's do it together. Share the information. Again, it's politicwithfred@gmail.com. politicwithfred@gmail.com. And I promise to keep you anonymous. Anyone I've ever put on blast is because they were there to simply try and destroy me. They were a part of those individuals that we don't want to see anymore, right? There's a lot of snakes, so keep your grass cut low. There's a lot of snakes out there. I'm Freddy Vazquez. Yeah, Academics is entertaining for sure. Yeah, I've been watching that. I get away from it. I don't want to think about politics. I don't even want to think about comments that people make or nothing like that. So I go and watch that, and that really just like clears my mind, because it's like something about whatever. I don't even know. It's entertaining, and then I just, I don't think about the other stressful stuff, right? So it's good for that, I guess. But yeah, so anyway, folks, again, send me the information. I'm Freddy Vazquez. I'm up out of here. Thank you. I appreciate you, Yonkers, as always. I love you. I love Yonkers. Somebody saying, I hate Yonkers, but I love Yonkers. Yeah, we love Yonkers, but we hate Yonkers because there's some variables, some factors, some things going on here that we need to remove. Okay, so it's time. I'm Freddy Vazquez. They're going to come at us. They're going to come at me, but we're going to keep doing it. Shout out to my wife. The cheerleaders are amazing. She hit the ground running. She put together the squad after going to a football game, and seeing that they had no cheerleading squad. The other team did. It wasn't a Yonkers team. And my wife felt that was not okay. I mean, we come from a high school where, man, forget it. It's like a college, like a good university. You know what I mean? What they did, cheerleaders, dancing, all that, man. Like a halftime show at the Super Bowl, right? So it's important that she had a cheerleading squad. So she put it together at Lincoln. At Roosevelt. I think Lincoln also had now put one together. I see that they have the girls, the pictures there. Shout out to my wife. Shout out to Ash, the cheerleading coach. Shout out to Ms. B, volunteering their time to make stuff happen, to bring these wonderful things to our kids in the Yonkers public schools. This is about Yonkers sports and just making the overall schools better. That's our goal. That's always been the Vazquez family goal, whether it's my wife, whether it's me. That's what we want to do. I know how important and how beneficial and how valuable an education is and learning stuff where it took me, and I wanted to take other kids there as well. I'm Freddy Vazquez, Basement Politics. I love you. Thank you. I'll see you again. Academics. Good job, Miss A and company. Our kids need it, absolutely. Thank you. His antics are hilarious. Good stream, Freddy. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you very much, folks. I'm Freddy Vazquez.
Freddy wins. Fatality.
And of course, this is Basement Politics, the only place where I'm going to give it to you honest. Sometimes my honesty doesn't sit well with folks, and I apologize. Again, I heard this. Some people, they said some people are already, they're watching you more because they like what you're saying. Some people, maybe it's your approach. I don't really know how else to be. I don't know who else to be, folks, so I apologize. I can only be me. But let's focus on the goal, right? I'm Freddy Vazquez, Basement Politics Unfiltered. Thank you, folks. Nicky, give me a call, Nick. You want to come on the show and explain all this? I'd love to have you. Anytime, Nick. Anytime. I'm Freddy Vazquez. Peace out.
Freddy wins.
You're watching Basement Politics with my dad, Freddy Vazquez. You're watching Basement Politics with my dad, Freddy Vazquez.
Are we? Let's make it happen, guys. Make me happy today. We are the real McCoy. Are we? Let's make it happen, guys. Make me happy today. Benefit him. Because he doesn't cover. He only talks trash. Benefit him. Because he doesn't cover. He only talks trash. That's a lot of stars. Benefit him. Because he doesn't cover. He only talks trash. That's a lot of stars. Because que hablan español. Not long ago, but I am the bad guy. Not long ago, he admitted himself.
Freddy wins. Fatality.
In another one, Mr. Rumo lied to me. And I don't vote for a person that lied to me. Thank you very much.
I want to end this quick because I'm greedy and I want somebody to want a chicken. So thank you. Yes! I want to end this quick because I'm greedy and I want somebody to want a chicken. So thank you. Yes!
Thank you for watching Basement Politics with my husband, Freddy Vazquez.
Wins. Fatality.
I was raised in housing. I don't think you were. We're going to leave it where it is. Let's vote on this. Let's get it popping. Like I said, political games that are being played. We're going to leave it where it is. Let's vote on this. Let's get it popping. What is that sweet spot? What is that sweet spot? Let's get it popping.
Freddy wins. Fatality.
No!